Good day. As you can see, this is a Chapter 3.1 summary. Things you should now know at this point. Chapter 3 is all about measurement, and Chapter 1 is all about the SI metric system for units. And so let's rattle through what we're up to. When you do a measurement, the last digit is always an estimate, and it's based on the equipment you're using. When you report a measurement, you should have the right number of significant digits and units. You should be able to now look at measurements, number 2, and know how many significant digits they have. You should also know if we're dealing with a conversion factor. For example, 3600 seconds per hour has infinite sig figs, because by definition, there's 3600 seconds in an hour. 1,000 grams in a kilogram, that has infinite significant digits. That's another conversion factor. You have to know the rules for multiplying or dividing. Those rules are the same. And you have to know that they're different from the adding and subtracting rules. Multiplying and dividing is based on chopping your result to the number of significant digits that the measurement with the fewest sig figs has. On the other hand, adding and subtracting, you should line them up, and then you chop at the less precise measurement according to place value. Yes, you have to know how to chop, and yes, you should know the rules for rounding fives in chemistry. Scientific notation. You have to be able to go from regular notation to scientific notation and back the other way. You've got to know how to use your calculator. Every year I get a few students who do it their own way, and they're typically off by a power of 10. So if you don't know how to do it, then make sure you ask for help. You may have an EE button, you may have an EXP button, but you're going to have something like that. Some calculators have it times 10 to the power of. Any of those 3 buttons is what you're going to be after. Related to Chapter 4, we talked about SI units, and we showed you how to do conversions. So yes, you're going to have to do those conversions. You do not have to memorize the prefixes. They will be provided. But you do have to use the prefixes properly, and you have to show your work in a clear fashion as illustrated. Friendly reminder, we love the SI system. It's universally understood around the world, and it's based on powers of 10 thanks to the metric system. On the test, you will be asked to make a graph, and basically you start with a perfect score, and everything you mess up on takes a mark away. So if you want a perfect score in your graph, make sure you include things like a title, darken both axes, label both axes, spread your data out, put in a good best fit line, and you may be asked to find the slope. If you're asked to find the slope, that will give you a unitary rate. And a unitary rate just simply means it has a denominator of 1. And so we get some units per some units, meters per second, that kind of thing would be an example of units we might get from a slope. Accuracy and precision. You have to know the 1 definition of accuracy and the 2 definitions of precision. Of course, we should know why measurement's important in science, particularly chemistry. And you will have done 2 labs, and the second lab is why your test got pushed off a bit. You did the aluminum foil lab, and later, related, you did the more complicated size of molecule lab. So lots of questions in Chapter 3 and 1 if you're looking for more practice, and some of the assignments I didn't assign you can do for practice as well.